time, we've been joined by East Carolina coach Ruffin McNeill. The Pirates are 1-2 overall, 0-1 in the American. East Carolina was in action this past Saturday at Navy. Navy won the game 45-21. Up next for East Carolina will be this Saturday against Virginia Tech at Dowdy-Ficklen Stadium. That will be a 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Game will be televised on ABC with a reverse mirror on ESPN2. Coach, thanks so much for joining us on the call this morning. If you would take a minute to tie up the game against Navy and what you expect to see as you step out of conference to face Virginia Tech, please.
Well, I thought Navy played extremely well. We know going there with their offense, and it is different and it's unique, but we knew we had the very little margin for error with Navy. You have to get a lead. You have to match their scores, all three sides of the ball, have to really be playing together. I thought after the game we and watching the film, all three sides of our team didn't really feed off one another. And Navy did a great job. Keenan did a great job leading that offense, and defense, their defense played well. We thought we had opportunities to turn the tide there, maybe in the second half. But again, you have to take care of your valuable possessions and make them count. And the value of making routine plays and competitive plays were at a high value versus Navy. We learned a lot about our team. We keep growing each week. We have some old guys that are having turned in leaders. We still acclimate some young guys as well. Virginia Tech this week, we have no time to feel sorry for ourselves. Virginia Tech, I know Coach Beamer felt like this is going to be one of his better teams. A lot of returning starters, especially on offense. Bud Foster, their defensive coordinator, always has a very, very good defense up front. Speed on the back end with the defensive secondary and linebackers. I know they had a tough one beginning with Ohio State, but I also know what Coach Beamer's about and what he believes in. New quarterback because Brewer got hurt, Michael got hurt, but I think Brendan's going to do a good job. He's been there in the program and understands how to lead the quarterback, and he's surrounded by an experienced offensive line and really talented tight ends offensively. Coach Beamer's also been known for great special teams, and this year is no different. I know last we looked, they were first in the ACC and 10th in the country, and kickoff coverage always in the top 20 and kickoff return, and another great punter and place kicker. So we got to get ready to have a great week of practice, and we know we have to play at our best and use the experiences from these last games to our advantage in this game here in Dowdy-Ficklen. We're at home this week, and got to make sure we have a great week of preparation. Just being at home doesn't guarantee a win. We know we have a great fan base, but we got to make sure we prepare as a team and make sure our staff is preparing and our team as well.
Take questions for Coach McNeill, please. Star 1 on your telephone to join the queue. The operator will introduce you.
We'll take our first question from Mike Barber with the Richmond Times-Dispatch.
Hey, Coach, you mentioned the new quarterback there. I want to know, have you seen anything change in what they're doing offensively since Motley came in?
Well, I'll tell you, he's mobile, but Michael was mobile, but he's very mobile. You see him moving around and can create what could be a tough play into a long play. You saw it versus Purdue. He's got a strong arm. He does a good job when he's scrambling, keeping a view downfield. Receivers understand that, and they continue to run routes. So we have to keep him contained and be very disciplined in our rush lanes. Again, up front, I think the offensive line is doing a really good job of giving him time to get settled into position, and we know he's got some weapons around him.
I noticed on your roster you have a number of guys from the state of Virginia. I'm curious, is that just proximity, or is Virginia a place that you focus on in recruiting?
We focus on it very, very heavily. When I was in school playing here, a lot of my teammates were from that area. Always well coached, very talented area, and we go up and down through Virginia Beach, up to Richmond, and we still hit DC and those areas up there too. It's a main area for us to recruit, and we've been fortunate to get some really good players, but really good kids out of Virginia, and we'll continue to hit that area very hard.
Great, thanks, Coach.
Yes, sir.
We'll take our next question from Dan Tortora with Dan Tortora Broadcast Media.
Hey, Coach, how you doing?
Hey, Dan, how you doing?
Doing well. Your rushing attack through the first 3 games has been up and down. There's been some productivity and then obviously some struggle. What can you say about not only Hairston but your rushing game as a whole and what you're trying to do to kind of balance it out and make sure that there isn't those high peaks and then the low valleys?
That's a great question. I know with a new quarterback, people are tempted and they have make us run one-dimensional. We've always wanted to be balanced, Dan, in our run game. For example, Navy blitz more than they have in any film we've watched, for example. So we have to do a great job of getting us in the right play. We still want to have the running game involved. Right now, it's nowhere near where we want it or where we expect it to be. And again, we got another tough test this week, Dan, with Virginia Tech. They pride themselves on shutting down the run. So we have to find ways to continue to attack. Our skilled guys have to continue to make competitive plays for us. I think our skilled guys are really doing a good job, especially on the edge and with our tight ends and those guys. But we have to be able to run the football to be successful in this league, in any league, but especially our league, Dan.
And then you had said, obviously, with Frank Beamer at Virginia Tech, the respect that you have with him and knowing him well, what can you say on Virginia Tech's head coach and who that guy is going to be on the other side up against you coming up?
Well, he's one of this league has so many coaches, and Coach Beamer is one of those guys that he's always given respect, but he's also earned respect. But every time we meet, it's like seeing old friends. We mirror each other as far as able to go back to our schools and able to coach, Dan, and be a part of the program. What he's done there is built a program that wins for seasons. And a gentleman of the game, a Hall of Famer, a great person, inside and out, great coach, great teacher. I learn something every time we talk before the games, and we'll shake and hug and talk. I'm looking forward to talking to him before the game, Dan.
I appreciate it, Ruffin. Have a good day.
Yes, sir.
And do we have any other questions for Coach McNeill, please? Star 1 on your telephone, if so.
And we have a follow-up from Dan Tortora of Dan Tortora Broadcast Media.
I figured if I have another opportunity here, might as well ask you. You talked about the running game and being balanced and trying to get that going, but having a new quarterback. What have you seen from Blake Kemp and what he's done through the first few games here? What stood out to you? What areas does he need to work on? How do you kind of assess him right now, Ruffin?
Well, I tell you, he's anybody we start was going to be that first time, but Blake has shown real calmness. He's a competitor, Dan. He works extremely hard. He takes the game serious. He doesn't panic. He's made some mistakes, but he made some plays when you look back and compare it. When we had Shane, Dan, Shane's first year was a learning year too for him, and that's where the patience comes in. I think there's some things we can do, like you mentioned, the run game that we can do to help balance that, but so much is not on him. That position has to make plays at some point in time in the game to give us a chance, opportunity to change the outcome of the game. And I like the way he's handled himself. He takes the position. Dan, you've been in a long time. Two people get too much credit when you win and too much blame when you lose. But he stands up for it, and so do I. So I'm proud of him. I'm proud of James Summers too, Dan, as a backup. They work well together.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Coach, we thank you for your time this morning. We look forward to talking to you again next Monday.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, and that is Coach Ruffin McNeill from East Carolina. The Pirates take on Virginia Tech Saturday. The game will be at Dowdy-Ficklen Stadium, 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and will be on ABC with reverse mirror on ESPN2.